Hi, I'm so excited to do your session.
Hi.
So, have you been on here before?
I think I've watched your lives like once before maybe, but I
Once.
don't
Okay.
really understand it, so I was like, let me try.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and have you. So, Caitlin, if you want to tell me your age and your physical discomfort that we're working on, and then pain
Um,
level.
okay, so I'm gonna say a 10. I have panic disorder and I'm 24.
24 panic. So, like, you feel panicky right now
I feel panicky all the time.
all the time. So, it's like panic 10 out of 10. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
consistent.
consistent. Does it ever fluctuate or is it more like consistent?
Um, it depends on the situation, I guess. It sometimes fluctuates like being at home isn't so bad, but I still have it when I'm at home too. But if I'm like out in public, it's horrible.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and have a quick moment of silence and then we'll get to it. All right, so Caitlin, can I just proxy for you? So do you have a trapped emotion release now that is causing your panic? 1 through 5. So fear is the first emotion. And you're 24, so let's go ahead and ask, when did this occur? 10, 20, 19, 16, age 16. Do we need to know more about this? No? So we're going to take, do you recognize that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. To be released, let's do another emotion release now that is causing or contributing to this panic, to you feeling panic. 5. Blaming, so like blaming yourself for other people's issues or like taking the blame, or other people blaming you. When did this occur? 10, 20, 24, 32, age 22. Do we need to know more about this? Let's go ahead and release that. Do you recognize that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay, let's go ahead
Yeah.
and release that. To release that, to another emotion release now that is causing you to feel this panic. Maybe not 1, 3. Crying can be like crying, just regular crying, or it could be suppressing like your emotions that you should be releasing. So when did this first 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, age 6? Do we need to know more about this? No. Let's go ahead and release that. To release that, do another emotion release now that is causing or contributing to this panic. 3. Another crying. When did this occur? Age 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7. Do we need to know more about this? Let's go ahead and release that. And release that. Do another emotion release now that is causing or contributing to your panic. Come on, another 1 through 5. Horror, like a horror movie. When did this occur? 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, age 17. Do we need to know more about this? Do you recognize that one?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to tell us about it or do you want to just kind of next?
Well, I can. Well, you said 16 at first, with fear, and I was in a really abusive relationship with the father of my son, and like I would always, you also said like you would feel bad. Like I'm a super empath. So
Blaming?
yes, blaming. Like I would always be like, well, maybe if I did something different, or maybe it was my fault that happened. So like everything that you said is like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a little
that's
crazy.
insane. But the horror at age 17, that resonates with you though?
Yeah, that's about the time that I was pregnant, and like I was abused through my pregnancy too. So it was like a 7-year long abusive relationship. So it's like,
Oh,
wow.
oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm
Well,
so
it's
sorry
it's
that you're
it's better now. So
good. That's really good though. Okay, let's keep going. So do you have another trapped emotion release now that is causing or contributing to this panic? Maybe 3. Rejection. When did this occur? 10, 20, 20, 19, age 19. Do we need to know more about this? And the feeling of rejection comes up a lot with abuse, because, you know, it's like, oh, what did I do wrong? You know, like,
Right.
yeah, I totally get that. Let's go ahead and release that. To release that to another emotion release now that is causing this panic. Maybe not a 1, 3. Sadness. When did this occur? 10, 20, 29, 28, 17, age 17. We need to know more about this. Let's go ahead and release that. To release that to another emotion release now that is causing this panic. Maybe not a 1, 3. Crying. When did this occur? 10, 20, 20, age 24. So this is pretty recent. You like to hold your emotions in, don't you? Yeah. Well, let's release all of that. To release that to another emotion release now that is causing or contributing to your panic. Yes. Maybe not a 1. Abandonment. When did this occur? 10, 20, 29, 28, 17, 16, 17, age 15. We need to know more about this. Let's go ahead and release that. To release that. Did something happen to you like right before you got pregnant? About the age of 15?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You mean like with abandonment? I don't know if you would call this abandonment, but like I was like kind of stuck in a position where I was like battling addiction and stuff like that, and I actually like sent myself off to like this National Guard Youth Challenge program thing, and it was like 5 months I was away from home. I only got 2 home visits, so maybe it could be it.
I that could definitely be considered abandonment, because it's almost like you're abandoning yourself. Like,
right.
No, that makes sense. By the way, Santa's in the house. Hello, Santa.
Hey, Santa.
All right, so Caitlin, let's go ahead and ask. You have another trapped emotional release now that is causing this panic. Maybe not a 1, 3, 5. Fear. When did this occur? 10, 10, 9, 8, age 8. Do we need to know more about this? Let's go ahead and release that. Do we release that? Do another emotion release now that is causing this panic. Maybe not 1, 3. Crying. When did this occur? 10, 20, 29, 18, 17, age 17. Do we need to know more about this? Let's go ahead and release that. To release that to another emotion release now that's causing this panic. Okay, I hope you know the drill. Go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around, give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it. I love it. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, after a really big deep breath, how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe.
Probably like a 5, I guess.
Say what?
I guess it's also like your vibe is different too, because you know how like you vibe with certain people, but then certain people you don't. Like you have a really calming. I don't know. I guess that helps.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. No, I know what you mean though. Some people you're just like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, let's see if we can keep going. I want to see if we can get it a little bit lower. So let's go ahead and ask, do you have another trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this panic? 3. Sorrow. Sorrow is kind of like a sad regret. But age 10, 20, 29, so age 17. We need to know more about this. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we release that? Do another emotion release now that is causing or contributing to this panic? 3. Another crying. When did this occur? 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Age 4. Do we need to know more about this? Do your parents really suppress their emotions?
Well, my biological father is not in the picture. My mom, she's kind of the same as me. Like she's like an empath too. So we don't necessarily, I guess, worry about ourselves or take care of ourselves more than we take care of other people. Like we take care of other people before we take care of ourselves. So it's
Right.
like we never really get to us, you know, we never have time to get to us.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. So let's go ahead and release that. So this is actually absorbed from her. The crying and suppressing emotions and all of that. You absorbed that from her. To be released, that to another emotion release now that is causing this panic. Wait, another one. Love unreceived. When did this occur? 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, age 17. We need to know more about this. Let's go ahead and release that. So love unreceived is like putting forth your love and then not receiving that love back, or not being
reciprocated.
what do I always say with this? It's almost like not being loved the way that you need it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so release that. We release that to another emotion release now that is causing this panic. Maybe 2. Anxiety. When did this occur? 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, age 17. We need to know more about this. So a lot of this relationship has a lot to do with your panic and anxiety and just feeling all of that. I'm so sorry. Is you said your son's father, is he in the picture at all?
No.
So 0%.
Yeah, 0%. He hasn't been, and he actually was never there. He's only met Logan probably like 3 times. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's not that great of a guy, so.
Bye.
Right?
Oh, dang it. I'm so sorry. How long were you with him?
Like 7 years.
7 years. Okay. I would like to release some courting. So this is in the body code. I don't know if you're familiar with what the body code is. It's my 2nd certification, and it is basically like a deeper kind of healing. I have an app for it, but okay, so it's basically a courting is basically like an energetic connection to someone. It's basically like a trauma bond. It's another word for trauma bond. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before, but it's basically like being connected to somebody. So like, for example, gut to gut, heart to heart, and brain to brain. A lot of the times when you're connected to somebody that's when this trauma bond connects, it's almost like if they're like manipulative, you have a brain to brain connection because they're trying to control you. And then if you have like a gut to gut, then oftentimes you feel their anxiety and they feel your anxiety. Like all of these emotions are just going back and forth between you two, and it's just compounding and making your relationship even worse. And then the next thing you know, you can't live without them, but you have to leave. And it's just like this whole massive feeling of just,
Yeah.
So it's hard. So courting, and then also is basically the same thing as a trauma bond. So let's go ahead and ask, sorry, go ahead.
Can you have a trauma bond with more than one person?
Yes.
Okay. Just
so
curious.
So parents, you can be courted to your parents, especially if they were abusive. You can be courted to, exes. You can be courted to your kids. You can be courted to co-workers, especially if you're around them a lot, friends, relatives, anybody. You can have multiple of the same one. So it's a lot. But for the most part, people are mostly just courted to the people that they're closest with. And I would say that's not more than like 5 or 10 people. So
right. Okay.
Anyway, so you have a brain to brain courting with your ex. So we're gonna go ahead and release that. Release that. Where do you usually feel your anxiety? In your stomach? or in your chest?
In my chest, yeah.
In your chest. Okay, so then, so you have a heart-to-heart and a gut-to-gut cording. So we're gonna release both of those. So let's do the heart-to-heart first. And then release the gut-to-gut cording as well. Okay, I don't usually talk about this just because it's a little bit sensitive, but this specific cording, are you familiar with chakras?
A little
bit. Okay, so let me explain the chakras a little bit. They're just energy wheels, basically centers for your body. So the crown chakra is, for connecting to God. The third eye chakra is for like your intuition. Your throat chakra is mostly for like speech and speaking truth. Your heart chakra is for like love and abundance. Your solar plexus chakra, I can't remember what it is for, but you also have your sacral chakra where your reproductive system is, and then your root chakra is about where your pubic bone is. So this specific one is actually called, I always feel weird saying this, but it's not a sexual thing. It's a genitals to genitals cording. It's actually like you're being connected in the root chakra. Does that make sense? Because a lot of the times when people are in abusive relationships, they tend to try to find safety within the people who are abusing them. Does that make sense? Yes. Because that's where they feel the most comfortable. So that's how I believe it can be. So genitals. So let's go ahead and just release that. And then sometimes, occasionally, if the other person is like a sex addict, which is very, sometimes it can be very common. Sometimes it can be a sexual thing as well. But for the most part, I usually like to say it's a, not that I'm saying that he was, but.
Oh, no, it definitely is.
Oh, really? Okay. That makes sense then. That makes sense. But for the most part, it's usually like a safety thing. So did we release that? Do you have another imbalance? Okay, so go ahead and take some more big deep breaths. Kind of tap into that panic and see see how that feels.
Feels better.
Yay!
I feel happier. Is that normal?
Oh, what?
I said, is that normal?
Yeah, that's totally normal. That's awesome. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the panic?
Like a 2.
Yeah, girl. Yes, that's amazing.
So crazy.
So I'm gonna say something, and this is actually how I felt. I used to be corded to some very toxic people, and as soon as I released those cords, I literally felt free. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why do I feel weird?
Like it's almost like the ball and chain has been taken off of your chest.
Yeah, and when you were saying release it, like I got sick to my stomach. Like I was like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I didn't want to say that because that's just like, just don't say that, right?
It's actually a normal thing to feel that. It's so normal to feel anything. Like if you feel a shift, it's totally normal. The nauseousness that you probably felt was, they call it burn off. Some people yawn, some people get extremely tired, some people get like lots of energy, some people feel like tingling all over their body, sometimes people feel like out of body. Some people feel really warm. It just depends on each person. Everybody is so different because everybody has absorbed that trauma so differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's weird because like my body feels tingly and my feet are sweating. So, and I have no socks on. So
That's hilarious. Well, cool. So it was a pleasure working with you. Are you okay if I post this on my YouTube channel?
Yes, you can.
Yes. And don't forget to drink a really tall glass of water tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Caitlin. It was a pleasure working with you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.